Welcome back to another bourbon review. I just left Portage, Wisconsin. As you can see, oh, the hat. Oh, I'm surprised you noticed. Actually, this hat is, I just bought this yesterday. It's for winter. In the winter time, we have to wear hats. And I'm a man of many hats. So far, this one's my favorite. It's really freaking warm though. So, all right, enough about my hat. I purchased this bottle of Evan Williams. It's a single barrel vintage. Not a big fan of the lower proof stuff. This is 43.3. And it says here, Kentucky's first distillery put in oak in 2016. And it does say single barrel vintage. So I'm going to take my handy dandy Glencairn and let's give ourselves a modest pour. Okay, so let's see what the back of the bottle says. This bourbon was personally selected by our master distiller only after meeting his exacting standards for this vintage. Taken from a single barrel, it is not the art of bourbon making at its finest. It is not? Oh, it is the art. One more try. Okay. I haven't even drank any of this yet. Okay. Maybe it's the hat. This bourbon was personally selected by our master distiller only after meeting his exacting standards for this vintage. Taken from a single barrel, it is the art of bourbon making at its finest. Bottled unblended with other barrels to preserve its individuality. Hand numbered as a sign of its limited availability. And this one, oh boy, what did I do with the number? Oh, my wife took it. This is hand number, oh, it's right here. Duh. Barreled on 5/2 of 16. Yep, that was a few years ago. It was 9 years ago. Correct? Yeah. Barrel number 230. Bottled on 8/20 of 24. And I did buy a second, and they are both the same date. So hopefully I like it. Anyways, let's get to the color. So this is a neck pour, folks. So how many of you people out there that drink bourbons believe in a neck pour? Oh, what's over there? How many people believe in a neck pour? Like the neck pour goblins. Like, do you take a neck pour and just be like, I don't like the neck pour. I'll just, yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of the neck pour. I do normally like to let these sit around for 20 minutes, you know, usually 10, 15 anyway. Because they do have a potential to be a little, you know, more harsh than neck pour will. Because it's, I don't know, the more oxygen you give these things, the more time they have to roll around in the oxygen, they come across as a little bit less, I don't know, vicious, little less mean. I don't like mean people, and I don't like mean whiskey. Stupid. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this down. I have a couple others that I would like to, at some point, you know, at some point I'd like to do a head-to-head for some of these things, but I'm just curious as to see how this Evan Williams. I mean, Evan Williams is a very inexpensive bottle to start with. Oh, I know. So before we purchased this, I'll just preface this with, before we purchased this, we stopped at this little place in Portage. And this, the guy that owns the liquor store that I bought this from also owns this little restaurant. But he's got a ton of bourbons in there where you can get like Pappy Van Winkle pours. You can get all kinds of crazy pours in there. And I had a Pappy Van Winkle pour before I got home. So like before we left, obviously. And the Pappy Van Winkle, I think it was a 10-year. And it was so amazing. Like, I believe I still taste it. And that was like an hour ago. It's crazy. Anyway, we stopped there. I picked up this. But the other day was my birthday. On December 14th, 1965, this gift was given to the world. And here I sit as evidence of such gift. Now, this bottle is just Evan Williams small batch. It's a 1783 small batch, 90 proof, so it's a little hot. Well, is it hotter than this one? I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, this is only 86 proof. So this is this is kind of more up my alley. I think I'd had the regular Evan Williams, but not the small batch, and I really do appreciate this. But I'm going to do a little tasting. And while these two are, see, it's the good kind with the cap. While these two are mellowing, man, is that opened up so nice. My goodness. Wowzers. All right. This is the little booklet that comes along with it. Typically, bourbon is a blend of many barrels. Bourbon bottled from a single barrel is categorized as single barrel bourbon. Evan Williams single barrel vintage bourbon, however, is much more. Much more, you say? Shall we? Yes, we shall. It's the only single barrel bourbon bottled with vintage date, so to provide proof of age and subtle year-to-year distinctions found in fine wines. What a difference a date makes. Whiskey of the year after year after year. Evan Williams single barrel bourbon continues to receive awards and accolades year after year in recognition of its superior qualities. The following are but a few. Ooh. All right. Let's see how much lead's in the pencil, shall we? Whiskey of the Year by the Spirit Journal. Domestic Whiskey of the Year by Malt Advocate. Spirit of the Year in the bourbon category by Wine and Spirits Buying Guide. Spirit of the Year, American Whiskey category by Food and Wine. Top Spirits of the Year, Best American Whiskey by Wine and Spirits. That's a buying guide. This distillery has issued vintage Evan Williams bottling every year since 1986, and each year the whiskey has been better than the previous bottling, and that is by Wine Enthusiast. All right. Uncork a bottle of Evan Williams single barrel vintage bourbon for a date you will always remember. Interesting. Uncork a bottle of Evan Williams single barrel vintage for a date you'll always remember. To learn more about Evan Williams Bourbon, go to www.evanwilliams.com. So, I think when I'm all dead and gone, I think this will be like the book of my achievements in life. It'll be about this big. But they did, it's pretty cool little thing they give you. To me, the price point, holy buckets, that is nice. All right, so for the price point, $35. It really opens up nice. It didn't quite smell this good when I got it, or when I first opened it. And now we have the 1783 Evan Williams small batch. Let's do a taste comparison. A nosing. I'm going to get all up in their business. I'm going for the nose hole. Interesting. They're very similar. This one has a much more mellow, sweeter. It's not bad though. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Wow. I'm not used to drinking with my left hand. I mean, you hear about single barrels and you hear about this stuff, but I think I would love to try this at a higher APV. But honestly, I don't think this is so good. I'd like to try it just for curiosity's sake, but I'd almost feel guilty doing it just because I've already had this. This is wow. It's really nice. I think the more my palate gets used to it, the more things I taste, and also I lose some of the things I tasted on the first go around. And if you drink bourbon enough, you'll figure that out. Sometimes, like in 10 minutes, this is going to taste different. It should taste different anyway. But like that, I must have like. All right, I'm gonna. This is weird, but it tastes like, to me, on my palate, it was like soup, like a lot of vanilla, more than I'm used to. Like, it was very pleasant, and then it had like a tapioca, like vanilla tapioca, like a creaminess to it, and then it's weird, but absolutely delicious. Like, it has this a little bit of a caramely. It's very light and mellow. Now I'm getting a little green tea. That's usually the way it is with my palate. Like on the 4th sip, green tea comes out. Dang. Okay. There's a little like a confectionery fruitiness to it in there somehow. What is happening in my brain? The flavor choo-choo is coming through. It's coming to town. Oh, okay. I highly recommend that we go back to that store and buy the rest of these, however many he has, because this is absolutely outstanding. But I'm so in love with this one. Now I gotta try this one. Well, I mean, I've had this one. I may or may not have had some of this on my birthday. That's nice too. See, this one to me has a sweeter nose. This one kind of lets you know that it's sweet. Just like me, you know. Yeah, this is like super sweet tea. It's not as complex. It's super sweet. If you like sweet tea and a little bit of vanilla and caramel, just a hint of pepper. This is the lightest note of pepper. A little bit of a hug, little Kentucky hug going on in the background. Yeah, this is very good. I mean, what I think this is like $22, $24. Mm-hmm. This is like $35, and this one punches above its weight, and I think actually this one does too, because in a world of cheap, in the world of the cheaper bottles, this is going to give you a little bit, like a couple of flights up. It'll punch above its weight that way. Not as far as APV, but as far as the amount of flavor. And the ease it is, how easy it is to drink it. Like if you're a beginner and you wanna get into something that's really not gonna smack you around, either one of these will just be delightful, I think. Another one is like Traveler. Traveler is way above this in price. This will smack Traveler around like a trespasser. This is like the Traveling Trespasser. This is much better than Traveler. I tried Traveler. I think I'll do a review on it again. I don't know if I did a review on it, but I want to do a review on it, because to me it was just underwhelming, and that's just the way it is. But going back to back, see, this lends something. I don't know. They're kind of similar in that they're very sweet. They're like, to me, it's like confectionery sweet. Mm. This one has the edge, obviously, because of the age statement. But you can tell it's probably either a similar mash bill or the same. It seems like. I don't know enough about Evan Williams. I don't normally drink it, but I tell you, I think I might start to do that, as just, because honestly, I prefer this over, I love Bullet, I'm a Bullet guy. I love, 101 and all that. But honestly, this is, to me, more up my alley than those two. And I appreciate all of them. That's just a weird, it's not like I'm trying to poo-poo on some of the other ones, but I guess I didn't realize how much I liked the sweeter side of things, and these two are pretty dang sweet. It's not like and they don't bring a lot of pepper. They don't taste young to me. They don't taste like if you get a younger whiskey, a 4-year, and then they use staves or something, there's always that dusty, dry, like I don't know. There's something about it, like those tannins. You can tell it hasn't seasoned. Or this is just really pleasant. I wished I could try an uncut version of this, like a barrel proof, single barrel. I wonder if they have them. Well, hopefully this sheds a little bit of light on these two bottles. As far as getting into bourbons, you don't have to go out and buy, the expensive stuff. I do. I still do it. I don't think any bourbon on earth is worth more than $300. I don't care what it is. I just had Pappy. I don't know. That's like a $1,500 bottle, and as good as it was, I couldn't see spending more than $300 on it. No way. I think my first truck cost me $300. So no, not buying a bourbon for over $300. Not ever. So that being said, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have anything to add, please do it in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that notification bell. And I will see you on the next one.
Sheesh, what a bottle hog. You should just let me come in here and do one of these things.